Welcome to Examining the Archaeological Evidence for Hinduism Having Originated in the Indus Valley Culture, a short presentation by Daniel Biran. Hinduism is the third largest world religion with approximately 1 billion followers. It has grown and evolved over thousands of years into the vibrant culture it is today. But where did Hinduism originate? This is a question that scholars have debated for years. The most widely accepted theory is that Hinduism arose from the culture of the Indus Valley civilization. This would make the religion over 5,000 years old. This is a map of the Indus Valley. This is where an ancient culture flourished from the 3rd to the 1st millennium BCE, which archaeologists refer to as the Indus Valley civilization. It is one of the oldest urban civilizations, a contemporary of Mesopotamia and ancient Egypt, and is believed to have had a population of 5 million at its peak. The civilization was first uncovered in the late 1800s by a British general who dismantled one of the cities for ballast to use in building a railway. Excavation at the various sites has continued on and off ever since. Two of the most important sites are the cities of Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. It is from these sites that many important artifacts have been recovered. A number of these artifacts are religious in nature, and parallels can be drawn between these and certain Hindu religious traditions. This has been used as evidence for the theory that the Indus Valley civilization was the origin of Hinduism. One of these artifacts was the Great Bath at Mohenjo-daro. Constructed on the western mound of the city, the bath measures around 12 meters by 7 meters and has a depth of 2.5 meters. It is accessed by 2 staircases at the north and south ends. The bath is constructed of bricks soaked in bitumen, which allows it to hold water. The size and public nature of the bath indicates it served a ritual function in Indus society. Bathing also forms an important part of many Hindu rituals as a means of purifying one's body and spirit. Most well known is when Hindus purify themselves by bathing in sacred rivers such as the Ganges, but many other rituals involving washing exist, such as bathing oneself after a funeral, or the washing of a deity's image to purify it. Given this, it is easy to establish a link between the Great Bath at Mohenjo-daro and Hindu religious tradition. By itself, this would not be enough to establish a form of continuity. However, there are other finds from the Indus Valley that can be linked to Hinduism. This is one of a number of strangely shaped artifacts recovered from Harappa. These bulbous clay sculptures have no obvious function, and were likely decorative or religious in nature. Though they seem strange, these artifacts bear a remarkable similarity to certain Hindu sculptures, known as lingams. Lingams form part of the worship of the Hindu god Shiva. Their phallic nature represents the male creative energy, which is associated with the divine energies of Shiva. Lingam worship has been part of Hinduism for a long time. The oldest known lingam still used in worship today dates from the 2nd century BCE. If the lingam and the Harappan artifact are compared, the similarities become obvious. Barring detail, the two are almost identical in form, despite being made thousands of years apart. This has been taken by many to be proof of the link between modern-day Hinduism and the religion of the Indus Valley. Further evidence comes from the seals found at Mohenjo-daro. Whilst the script of the Indus Valley civilization still eludes translation, much can be learned by examining the symbols used. Cattle were a popular choice, often appearing with decoration on them. Also of note is the seal shown in the top right, which bears a swastika. Both cows and swastikas are common symbols in Hindu culture. Swastikas are a symbol of divine energy, known as Shakti, and of auspiciousness. Cows are venerated due to their association with a number of gods, especially Krishna and Shiva. The use of both these symbols on the seals can be seen as another linking factor between Hinduism and the Indus Valley. One seal in particular is of great interest. It shows a figure with 3 faces, seated with their feet pressed together underneath the phallus, with their hands resting on their knees. The figure is surrounded by animals, the most prominent of which is the rearing tiger on the right of the figure. The figure on the seal is very similar to the Hindu god Shiva in his form as Pashupati, the lord of beasts. As Pashupati, Shiva is depicted as being seated in a yogic position surrounded by animals. The tiger is also associated with Shiva. He is often either wearing a tiger skin or with a tiger beside him. Unfortunately, the largest temple to Pashupati does not allow non-Hindus or photography inside, and so the image on the slide is one of Shiva rather than of Shiva Pashupati. The pose that the figure on the seal is in is similar to that of Shiva. It appears to be a variant on the Hatha Yoga lotus position. Combined with the three faces, the erect phallus, and the surrounding animals, many scholars have seen the figure on the seal as conclusive proof that Shiva worship was part of the Indus Valley culture, and thus that it is the origin of Hinduism. By looking at all these artifacts, it is clear that there is strong evidence to support the claim that Hinduism originated in the Indus Valley civilization. Thank you for listening.